The Ring of Gyges, are we truly moral at heart? Are we truly moral at heart? This age-old question has puzzled philosophers for centuries, but perhaps no tale presents it as vividly as Plato's story of the Ring of Gyges from the Republic. In it, a humble shepherd stumbles upon a ring granting him invisibility. With this power, he's emboldened to commit acts he wouldn't dare to otherwise, culminating in his seduction of the queen, assassination of the king, and eventual usurpation of the throne. This narrative isn't as much about the magic of the ring as it is about the moral implications of unrestrained freedom from societal judgment and repercussions. Today, we live in a world with growing opportunities to act anonymously, from online personas to private transactions. It's a sort of digital invisibility ring, if you will. In our digital age, anonymity reigns supreme in many spheres. From anonymous online forums to hidden identities on social media, we're often given the option to act without immediate repercussions. Cyberbullying, trolling, and various malicious acts frequently transpire because perpetrators feel protected behind screens, believing their actions won't face real-world consequences. This digital invisibility prompts us to question, in these anonymous spaces, are we behaving any differently than Gyges did with his ring? Are we, given a shield of anonymity, more inclined to act based on self-interest rather than moral integrity? Now, with that contemporary conundrum in mind, let's delve into Plato's story. In ancient Lydia, Gyges was but a mere shepherd serving the king. One day, following a tremendous storm and subsequent earthquake, a chasm opened up at the place where he was tending his sheep. Intrigued by this sudden appearance, Gyges decided to explore the fissure. Deep within, he found a tomb, and inside it, the body of a giant, wearing nothing but a golden ring. Curiosity took hold of him, and he removed the ring from the giant's finger. Upon closer examination, Gyges discovered that turning the collet of the ring towards the inside of his hand rendered him invisible to all, while turning it back restored his visibility. This newfound power, as one might expect, presented a host of temptations for Gyges. It wasn't long before he realized the immense potential this power held. Initially, he used the ring to gather secrets, eavesdropping on conversations and learning things he had no rightful place knowing. But as time went on, his actions grew bolder. Realizing the extent of the power he wielded, Gyges hatched a plan to elevate his station. He seduced the Queen of Lydia. With her as an ally, emboldened by his newfound invulnerability, he plotted and executed a plan to assassinate the king. With the king out of the way, Gyges, with the support of the queen and the power of invisibility on his side, took the throne for himself. This tale isn't just a fantastical story of magic and ambition. At its heart, it poses a deeply philosophical question about human nature. Would we, like Gyges, be corrupted by the power to act without consequence? Does the judgment of society, the eyes of our peers, and the potential for punishment truly hold our baser desires in check? The story doesn't so much laud or chastise Gyges for his actions as it challenges us to reflect on our own moral compass when stripped of external checks and balances. After recounting the story of Gyges, it is crucial to understand the context in which it was presented. Glaucon, a character in Plato's The Republic, is the narrator of this tale. He isn't merely recounting a fantastical story for entertainment, he has a pointed philosophical argument in mind. Glaucon uses the tale of Gyges to support a provocative claim about morality. He contends that people behave morally not because of an inherent sense of justice but out of fear of punishment, of societal shaming, of consequences. For Glaucon, the ring's power is a metaphorical tool that removes these fears, leaving the individual's true nature bare. To further illustrate his stance, he challenges his interlocutor, Socrates, with a thought experiment. Imagine two such rings, one is given to a person considered just, and the other to one deemed unjust. Glaucon posits that both would ultimately act in the same self-serving manner. Their actions, he argues, would be indistinguishable because the fear of repercussions no longer binds them. This line of reasoning paints a rather grim view of human nature. Glaucon's argument suggests that our noblest actions, our kindest gestures, and our moral choices are not genuine reflections of our character. Instead, they are pragmatic decisions, shaped and compelled by the structures of society and the fear of what might befall us should we break its rules. It's a perspective that deeply challenges our notions of virtue and integrity. Are our good deeds and moral decisions truly our own? Or are they, as Glaucon suggests, merely reactions to an external system of rewards and punishments? The Golden Rule, found in cultures and philosophies worldwide, serves as an ethical touchstone. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, a principle that transcends religious and cultural boundaries. It's an ideal based on empathy and mutual respect, prompting individuals to envision themselves in another's position before taking any action. So, how does the story of Gyges and the perspective of Glaucon intersect with this age-old axiom? The Ring of Gyges presents a world where the external checks on our behavior are removed. Now, the Golden Rule comes into sharp focus. If one is sincerely guided by this principle, then the power of invisibility, or any other form of unchecked power, shouldn't lead them astray. They would still act with integrity, still think of others' well-being, and still uphold justice, all because it's what they would wish for themselves. However, Glaucon's argument adds layers of complexity to this idea. If we follow his reasoning, then the Golden Rule, when put to the test in the absence of external consequences, might crumble. Humans, according to Glaucon, might abandon the path of empathy and mutual respect in favor of personal gain, pleasure, or power when they believe their actions won't result in any negative consequences. It's as if the Golden Rule operates on a societal level because of the collective understanding of potential repercussions, rather than innate human goodness. In essence, the juxtaposition of Glaucon's argument and the Golden Rule presents a dialectic on human nature. On one side, we have the belief in inherent human goodness and empathy; on the other, a view of morality as contingent, shaped more by external pressures than internal principles. This tension forces introspection. When we act morally, are we genuinely following the Golden Rule from a place of deep-seated empathy and understanding? Or are we, as Glaucon might suggest, merely navigating a world of potential punishments and rewards, aligning our actions accordingly? When we consider the nature of morality, modern science offers insights that might shed light on the ancient debate brought forth by Plato through Glaucon. Are our moral inclinations intrinsic, or are they a product of external pressures and societal norms? Research into early childhood development provides some compelling evidence. Infants, who have yet to be significantly molded by societal expectations, already exhibit basic moral inclinations. In a series of studies, babies have shown preferences for characters that help others and have displayed aversive reactions to those that hinder or harm. This suggests that a sense of fairness, kindness, and perhaps even justice might be deeply rooted in our biology. Such findings lead to a tantalizing proposition: there's a foundational layer of morality that's innate to human beings, emerging even before the heavy influence of culture and society. However, as one examines the broader spectrum of human behavior, especially under certain pressures or conditions, this inherent moral compass seems to waver. The Stanford Prison Experiment, conducted by psychologist Philip Zimbardo, is a startling testament to this. Ordinary college students, placed in a simulated prison environment, quickly descended into roles of cruelty and submissiveness. What was initially a study meant to last 2 weeks was terminated in just 6 days due to the unforeseen intense negative emotional reactions it produced. Similarly, the Milgram experiments, orchestrated by Stanley Milgram, delved into obedience to authority. Participants were instructed by an authoritative figure to administer what they believed were electric shocks to another person. The results were unsettling. A significant number of participants were willing to administer lethal shocks when prompted by an authority figure, even when it went against their personal moral inclinations. What these experiments underscore is the malleability of human behavior. While there might be innate moral tendencies, situational factors, authority figures, or group dynamics can profoundly influence our actions. This is evident not just in controlled experiments, but in real-world scenarios as well, such as soldiers committing atrocities simply because they were just following orders. These external pressures can sometimes push individuals to act in ways contradictory to their moral compass, highlighting the tension between inherent morality and the influence of external factors. So, the puzzle of human morality is multifaceted. On one end, we have indications of a natural, inherent tendency towards fairness and kindness. On the other, we witness the power of external factors to sway, and at times, even distort these internal compasses. The balance between inherent moral inclinations and susceptibility to external pressures continues to be a central theme in our quest to understand human nature. The tale of the Ring of Gyges and our current digital landscape push us towards introspection. They compel us to assess the motivations behind our ethical decisions. Is our behavior a genuine reflection of our moral beliefs, or merely a response to external influences? In conclusion, while we might never pin down a definitive answer to whether humans are fundamentally moral or predominantly influenced by external factors, stories like Gyges serve as timely reminders. They challenge us to scrutinize our actions, especially in situations where we believe we're unnoticed. Because, in the end, true character might just be revealed by what we do when we believe no eyes are upon us. Until next time, let's keep delving into the intricacies of human nature and ethics.